Proper weapons handling is a vital skill in any situation, because you never know what might happen.
Ambush left! Ambush left! Been hit! Been hit! Been hit! Been hit!
The M16A2 service rifle is an advanced combat weapon, but it can't tell the difference between friend or foe. That's your responsibility. Situations like the one we saw a moment ago show how improper weapons handling can jeopardize the safety of you and your fellow Marines and the success of your mission. Proper weapons handling means safe weapons handling. There are 4 safety rules for handling the M16A2 service rifle that you must observe any time you pick up a weapon. No deviation from these rules is tolerated at any time. Rule number 1. Treat every weapon as if it were loaded. This rule will prevent negligent injury or property damage. Rule number 2. Never point a weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. You must be aware of where your muzzle is pointed at all times. Rule number 3. Keep your fingers straight and off the trigger until you're ready to fire. That way you won't fire by mistake. Rule number 4. Keep your weapon on safe until you intend to fire. The safety is there for a reason. Use it. Once you have made a conscious decision to fire, you may take the rifle off safe. The 4 safety rules are the Marine's primary guide to weapons handling. For that reason, you must observe the rules constantly in your training, so they become automatic and instinctive whatever the circumstances.
Shooters, you make amends fire when your targets appear.
Mission accomplishment and survival depend on it. Proper weapons carries permit you to carry your weapons safely over long distances while allowing quick engagement of the enemy. There are 3 weapons carries, each related to a specific threat level. The tactical carry is used when no immediate threat is present. In the tactical carry, your left hand is on the handguards, your right on the pistol grip with your trigger finger straight along the receiver, and your right thumb rests on top of the selector lever. If you're left-handed, this would be your left thumb. The buttstock of the rifle is along the side of your body at approximately hip level. The barrel should be angled upward at about 45 degrees in the general direction of the enemy. The muzzle should be slightly below eye level. Let it move in line with your eyes. Eyes, muzzle, target. The alert is used when enemy contact is likely. Enemy engagement is faster than with the tactical carry. For the alert, your left hand is on the handguards, your right on the pistol grip with your trigger finger straight along the receiver, and your right thumb resting on top of the selector lever, left thumb for left-handers. The buttstock is in your shoulder. The muzzle is angled down about 45 degrees and pointed in the likely direction of the enemy. The ready is used when contact with the enemy is imminent. It allows immediate engagement. As in the tactical carry and the alert, your left hand is on the handguards, your right on the pistol grip with your trigger finger straight along the receiver, and your right thumb resting on top of the selector lever, your left thumb if you're left-handed. Note that the safety is still on, even at the ready. The buttstock is in your shoulder as in the alert, but now the muzzle is up and pointed in the direction of the enemy. Keep your rifle sights just below eye level to maintain a clear view until you can identify a target. When you sight a target, you can take the safety off quickly as you raise the weapon and aim. Weapons transports are used when no immediate threat is present. They're useful when you're moving for long periods and whenever you need both hands for other work. There are 3 weapons transports. To assume the strong side sling arms muzzle-up transport, release the pistol grip while maintaining hold of the handguard, lower the buttstock, and bring the rifle to a vertical position. Then reach over your left forearm and grasp the sling. Guide the rifle around your shoulder and extend your elbow and arm through the sling. Place the sling on your shoulder and apply downward pressure on the sling with your right hand to stabilize your weapon. To assume the weak side sling arms, muzzle down, again release the pistol grip, keeping your left hand on the handguard. Lower the buttstock and bring the rifle to a vertical position. Rotate the rifle outboard until the pistol grip is pointing toward your body. Reach over your left forearm and grasp the sling with your right hand. Rotate the muzzle down while sliding your right hand up the sling toward the J-hook. Place the sling on your shoulder. Release the handguard. Grasp the sling with your left hand and apply downward pressure to stabilize the rifle. The weak side sling arms, muzzle down, is used during inclement weather to keep moisture out of the rifle bore. The cross-body sling is used when both hands are required for work. The weapon is slung across the back with the muzzle either up or down, down being preferred unless the situation dictates otherwise. Proper weapons handling is required every time a Marine passes a weapon to another. As always, the 4 safety rules must be observed without fail. The Marine handing off the weapon must ensure the rifle is on safe, remove the magazine if it's present, lock the bolt to the rear, visually inspect the chamber to ensure no ammunition is present, leave the bolt locked to the rear, and hand the weapon to the other Marine. The Marine receiving the weapon must ensure the rifle is on safe, visually inspect the chamber, release the bolt catch and observe the bolt going forward on an empty chamber, and close the ejection port cover. The transfer has been completed safely. Proper weapons handling includes filling and emptying ammunition magazines. An improperly filled magazine could cause your weapon to malfunction. One way to fill a magazine is by hand, with loose rounds. First, remove a magazine from your magazine pouch. Place a round on top of the follower and press down until the round is held between the follower and the feed lips of the magazine. Make sure the round is seated all the way to the rear of the magazine. Never place damaged or unserviceable ammunition in the magazine. Repeat this procedure until you've inserted the desired number of rounds. You may wish to tap the magazine to make sure the rounds are seated fully to the rear. Another way to fill the magazine is by using a magazine filler and stripper clip. First, slide the magazine filler into place on the magazine. Place a 10-round stripper clip into the narrow portion of the magazine filler. Then, with your thumb, press down firmly on the top cartridge until all 10 rounds are below the feed lips. While holding the magazine filler in place, remove the empty stripper clip. Repeat the process until you've inserted the desired number of rounds. To empty the magazine by hand, push with your thumb on the base of the top round, forcing it out of the magazine. Continue until the magazine is empty. You can also use a stripper clip. With the front of the magazine parallel to the deck, press the second round in the magazine with the stripper clip, relieving the tension on the top round and allowing it to fall out. Continue until the magazine is empty. However you empty the magazine, always retrieve your loose rounds. Stow empty and partially filled magazines with the follower up. Stow filled magazines with the rounds down and pointed away from your body. This allows you to find the correct magazine by feel. Weapons conditions define a rifle's safety status and readiness level. Standardized weapons commands take the rifle to specific levels of readiness for live fire. There are 4 condition codes, conditions 1 through 4. Condition 2 is for weapons with external hammers and doesn't apply to the M16. Condition 4 is the lowest level of readiness for fire. There is no magazine in the weapon. The chamber is empty. The bolt is forward on an empty chamber. The ejection port cover is closed. And the safety is on. The load command takes the weapon from condition 4 to condition 3.
Magazine 5 round, load.
On the load command, first ensure that the weapon is in condition 4. Then take a magazine from your magazine pouch, make sure it's filled, then fully insert it into the magazine well. Tug downward to ensure it's seated. Do not hit the magazine to make sure it's seated. If it's not seated properly and you release it in order to hit it, it may fall out. Fasten the magazine pouch. Ensure the ejection port cover is closed if it isn't already. The weapon is now in condition 3. Magazine inserted, chamber empty, bolt forward, ejection port cover closed, and safety on. The Make Ready command takes the weapon from condition 3 to condition 1.
Make ready.
On the Make Ready command, pull the charging handle fully to the rear and release it. To make sure a round has been chambered, pull the charging handle back slightly and visually inspect the chamber. Then tap the forward assist, check your sights, and close the ejection port cover if time and the situation permit. The weapon is now in condition 1. Magazine inserted, round in chamber, bolt forward, ejection port cover closed, and safety on. The unload command takes the weapon from any condition to condition 4. Dropping to one knee makes it easier to control your weapon while unloading.
Cease fire. Unload.
First, attempt to put the weapon on safe. Then, remove the magazine and retain it on your person. Rotate your weapon so the ejection port faces the deck. Block the bolt to the rear and put the weapon on safe if it wouldn't go on safe earlier. Ensure the chamber is empty. Then release the bolt catch and watch the bolt go forward into the empty chamber. Close the ejection port cover and check the sights. Recover any ejected ammunition. Inspect it, clean it, and return it to the magazine. Omit this step at night. This prevents you from putting a bent or dirty round back in the magazine. Put the magazine in the pouch and fasten the pouch. The Unload Show Clear command involves a secondary inspection. Proceed as with the Unload command.
Unload, show clear.
Attempt to put the weapon on safe. Remove the magazine and retain it on your person. Rotate the rifle as before and block the bolt to the rear. Put the weapon on safe if it isn't already, and inspect the chamber to make sure it's empty. The Unload Show Clear command requires you to have another Marine inspect the weapon to ensure no ammunition is present. Both Marines are responsible for making sure the weapon is clear. After the secondary inspection, release the bolt catch and watch the bolt go forward on an empty chamber. Close the ejection port cover, check the sights, recover any ejected ammunition, inspect it, clean it, and return it to the magazine. Again, omit this step at night. Return the magazine to the pouch and fasten the pouch. Each time you fire your weapon, it goes through a cycle of operation. Any interruption in this cycle will cause a stoppage. If this happens, you must get the weapon back into operation as quickly as possible. Many stoppages can be cleared by what's called immediate action. Immediate action is the unhesitating response to clear a stoppage without investigating the cause. Here's what it looks like. Let's take a closer look at what happened. First, you strike upward on the bottom of the magazine to make sure it's fully seated. Then you pull the charging handle all the way to the rear and release it to ensure a round is chambered. Then you sight and attempt to fire. An easy way to remember it is tap, rack, bang. If immediate action fails, then remedial action must be taken. Remedial action means investigating the cause of the stoppage, clearing it, and returning the weapon to operation. Remedial action is divided into two phases. First, seek cover if the tactical situation permits. Then pull the charging handle all the way to the rear and try to lock the bolt to the rear. Check for a round or brass ejection. If a round was ejected, continue on to phase 2. If no round was ejected, first do whatever's necessary to clear the rifle. Then go to phase 2. Release the bolt by depressing the bolt catch. Tap the forward assist. Sight and attempt to fire. Just remember sports. Phase 1. Seek cover if the tactical situation permits. Pull the charging handle all the way to the rear and attempt to lock the bolt to the rear. Observe for a round or brass to be ejected. Phase 2. Release the bolt by depressing the bolt catch. Tap the forward assist. Sight and attempt to fire. The most common type of stoppage is the double feed, which occurs when 2 rounds are stuck in the receiver. It's usually caused by a faulty magazine. If immediate action fails, and you find a double feed during phase 1 of sports, remove the magazine. Rotate the weapon so the ejection port faces down. Hold the charging handle to the rear and shake the weapon to free the rounds. If that doesn't work, strike the butt of the weapon on the ground or manually clear the rounds. Remember to keep the muzzle pointed in a safe direction at all times. Reload and perform phase 2 of sports. If your weapon produces an audible pop accompanied by a reduced recoil, under no circumstances should you perform immediate or remedial action. Immediately cease fire. If you're in a combat situation, grab another rifle and get back in the firefight, remembering that the rifle may not be zeroed for you. If no other rifle is available, first place your weapon in condition 4. Remove the bolt carrier group. Inspect the bore for an obstruction from the chamber end. Clear the obstruction with a cleaning rod from the chamber end. If you're in a training environment and you experience an audible pop, reduced recoil, again, immediately cease fire. Place your weapon on safe and raise your hand for assistance from the range personnel. Proper weapons handling is an important part of marksmanship, and knowledge of safe handling procedures is vital. But knowledge isn't nearly enough. You must practice these procedures at all times until they become completely instinctive. They can make all the difference between life and death, between failure and success.